Everyone keeps saying I'm back. And yeah, I think I'm back. Welcome back everybody, Matt the Brat here. So the week has finally come. It's been almost 4 years since the last John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, came out in May 2019. And originally they announced John Wick Chapter 4 the weekend after John Wick Chapter 3 came out. I remember that Monday, Tuesday, I was at work, and the news broke that night, that evening, that John Wick Chapter 4 is a go. And, to top it all off, they said it will be the weekend of May 2021, and at that time, it was going to be the same weekend as The Matrix 4. You remember that? I remember that. Everyone went crazy that, wait a minute, we're going to have Keanu Reeves and Keanu Reeves? Whoa. And it was going to be the same weekend. It was going to be, you could do a double feature of John Wick 4 and The Matrix 4. And I remember everyone was losing their mind over that. I was like, okay, I know what I'm going to be doing that weekend. Keanu. All day, every day. Or one day. Hey. Anyway. So, I was looking forward to that. Yes, like most people, I grew up with Keanu Reeves. Especially The Matrix. So I didn't see The Matrix in the first one in the theater. But 2 and 3, saw those with my friend Foster. We saw those together, I remember that. And actually the third Matrix was the first movie I saw with my other friend Reeves. So, like the Keanu Reeves, we have some history. And then of course other movies, Hardball, if I see some ladies tonight that love me out of my baby, baby. Yep, that baseball movie. Point Break, Street Kings, Constantine, and like, okay, more John Wick, the Mama Yaga. And I mean, like I said, other than Keanu Reeves playing Neo, John Wick is now his most popular, most definitive character he will go down as playing. I love the John Wick franchise. This first movie, nobody saw in theaters, except this guy, right here. No one knew the name John Wick. And, that movie with Keanu Reeves, it looks dumb. Yeah, granted, they put out the first trailer a month before the movie came out, so. And when I saw that movie, I was like, oh man, that movie's awesome. And then John Wick 2 came out, and then people were like, oh. And that's because the movie, the DVDs and Blu-rays on John Wick 1 went up. And we were like, oh, we're going to make a sequel now. And then people started catching on John Wick 2 when you saw Lawrence Fishburne and Keanu on screen. They were like, oh, the Matrix reunion. Ah! So, and then John Wick Chapter 3 was awesome. You got Halle Berry in there, taking back her action persona from Die Another Day. And her German Shepherds. So, Brandon, I love this franchise. It's a great action franchise. And it started in the 21st century. It is probably one of the best action franchises right now going on. So John Wick Chapter 4. Start out with the positives, of course. And of course, Keanu Reeves, John Wick, the Mama Yaga. He's awesome in the role. And you know why he's awesome in the role? I mean, he doesn't talk that much. It's funny how every John Wick movie he talks less and less and less. I think the studio's catching on. Nothing against Keanu Reeves, but he isn't the greatest actor in the world. Whoa. And you never see it in this movie. He might have, other than saying the word yeah about 20 times, yeah, yeah, yeah. He might have only 5 other lines in this whole movie. No joke. Almost a 3-hour movie. He might have 5 lines total. And he's the main character. Remember that. But other than the action he does his own stunts. And right there, he's awesome. He's awesome. He's Neo. He's the one. Then we got Bill Skarsgård. He plays the main villain in this one. And I thought he was great. He had this, he came off as arrogant. He came off as an asshole. He was actually menacing in a lot of scenes, one in particular, and I just thought he brought a certain presence to this role that we haven't seen in any of the other John Wick movies. This is by far the strongest villain we've had in the John Wick franchise. And he is just, like I said, you were like, oh, you know, he's good because he was Pennywise the Clown. Ick. With all the makeup and everything, but take the makeup off, he's still a really good actor. And plus, he's a Skarsgård. He assisted like the henchman working for Bill Skarsgård, Donnie Yen. And he is like the next Jackie Chan. He's not only, he's blind, you know, his character's a blind guy. His name is Kane. And I have to say it, I'm gonna say it, you know I'm gonna say it. He is the blind Asian Daredevil. He's the Asian Daredevil we didn't know we needed besides Matt Murdock. So if they ever make a Daredevil season with Donnie Yen, I'm going to say it right now. Matt Murdock, Daredevil. He ain't going to make it. You're not going to make it to the next season. Give it up. But Donnie Yen is excellent. I love how they build his character. He's a very complicated character. He's not just, you know, one-dimensional of, I just gotta go after John Wick. That's it. That's all. No more. They actually give him a backstory, a history with John Wick, and you understand where he's coming from. And you sometimes root for him, but then you also root against him, but then you're also rooting for him. And this is the bad guy. Shamir Anderson. I've never heard of this actor. I've never seen of this actor. He goes by 2 names. Tracker and Mr. Nobody. When they called him Mr. Nobody, I thought he was going to be a connection with Nobody, Bob Odenkirk. Because it's the same studio, the same producer, the same people behind John Wick were behind that 2021 film, Nobody. Great movie, by the way. So if you like John Wick, you need to check out Nobody. But I thought he was going to be connected to, you know, Nobody. But he isn't. Shame. But the character that he plays, Shamir Anderson plays, excellent. He's another one that has a complicated backstory. He's, on one moment, he's hired to kill John Wick, but then there's this like back and forth. And I really like his character. We have a dog in this movie, of course, German Shepherd, and he's the one that has the dog in this film. And that dog, one thing they did in this movie, they really made that dog like a monster, like Jaws. Like this German Shepherd has become Jaws in John Wick. That there are moments that are like out of a horror film when it comes to this dog attacking or showing up in the shadows. And I'm like, dude, this is like Cujo on acid, but with a German Shepherd. Here, Anderson, he's an excellent character in the movie that I would say if they move on and do another spin-off like they're doing with Ballerina, I want to see a whole movie with Mr. Nobody. Supporting characters, Ian McShane as Winston, always a pleasure to see on screen. You know, he's not in it that much, but he's in more actually than I think some of the other John Wick movies. And once again, he plays the character of Winston perfectly. Lawrence Fishburne. he's once again, he's not in this movie that much, and I'm kind of disappointed. But when he is on screen, he has some of the very best lines of dialogue. Like, quotable lines, and you go, that's a nice quote. That's a good quote to put, somewhere. And he's fun. He's a fun character. I mean, the action in this movie the choreography is unbelievable. You have such a variety of, kung fu, sword fights, nunchucks, car chases, hand-to-hand combat. Even at one point, almost like a Western shootout. I mean, it is like, the action in this film is, from the scene in Japan, excellent, the entire sequence. There's a stairway sequence that is done in one take, in one shot. They go from here, and then they go up and overhead, and you're watching it all the way for minutes, not seconds, minutes and minutes and minutes. And I'm just watching this going, because it's so amazing. I'm like, I'm a filmmaker. I've watched so many behind the scenes of how movies are made. I made my own movies where people said, how did you do that? I can't tell you. It's my own trick. But I watched the sequence and I'm going, how did they do that? There's a scene in Paris around that circle thingy. Great car chase. There's a nightclub scene with Scott Atkins as, his name is Killer. Killer! Great name for a villain. It's a great sequence. They're playing poker, and it becomes this whole shootout in this nightclub. I'm telling you, you go see John Wick for action scenes, and this movie delivers the action. And I was aware, I don't want to go see a movie where it's only 3 hours of action. I was going to go see this movie anyway. But I'm like, I just don't want 3 hours of action. But man, you get almost 3 hours of action and you never feel bored. You never feel tired. They keep changing it up. Different locations. There's even a shootout on horseback in the desert. We got it all, folks. And that's the great thing. It's almost 3 hours of pure adrenaline action that never gets old. Cinematography. This is the best looking John Wick film. The lighting in this movie, in almost every shot, not just one, but in almost every shot. There are long tracking shots. There are wide shots that that is a perfect image. Just a frame on the wall. There's long tracking shots where they let characters breathe. There's literally a scene where Ian McShane comes into a room and they literally follow him as he's walking in one long tracking wide shot for a good minute or longer. And he's just walking from one side of the room to another. No cutting. And I'm watching this going, you see? I love the action, but I also love they took the time and let these scenes breathe. Let them, really show the cinematic part of this movie. The cinema. The cinematography. And stuff like that. I'm going, in any other movie, they would be like, slice, close up, wide shot, close up, wide shot. Okay, now he's with the other character. 2 shot. Okay. No, they just let it flow. Feel the rhythm. Feel the flow. Happy Gilmore. I also think this is the best script out of all 3 movies. Because the dialogue is a lot better, especially with the new characters, the backstories, the complicated character development for a lot of the new characters, like Nottingham, like Mr. Tracker, like Bill Skarsgård. And then, like I said, the characters are written so well that they're more fleshed out. You feel like, okay, they're not just, oh, you're a villain and you're the henchman. Go. There's actually purpose to these characters. There's actually some complicated history with some of these characters. There's also reasons why, like at Donnie Yen, you're cheering for him 1 minute, but the next minute you don't want to cheer for him. That's good writing. That when you're even cheering for the guy who's supposed to be killing John Wick. Good writing. Humor. This movie has a lot of humor too, which I really enjoy. Sometimes dark humor, but it works. It's funny how there's a movie where there's actually when something like major happens, like someone gets shot, or someone falls from a tall place and slams into the ground. There was so many movies like, whoa, 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 throughout the 3-hour movie. When they're there, I'm like laughing because they come up with some funny dialogue. Or someone says something funny like Lawrence Fishburne. And it works. The humor in this movie works perfectly. For almost a 3-hour movie, 2 hours and 50 minutes, this is the fastest John Wick movie out of all three. This is, by almost 3 hours, this movie flies by. I could not believe by the time we got, that was already almost 3 hours. Where did the time go? John Wick 4 is 40 minutes longer than John Wick 3. And John Wick 4 went by 10 times quicker than John Wick 3. I really like John Wick 3. It's one of my favorites. But there are moments in that movie that I go, you could have cut that. You could have moved the pace, moved it a little quicker. You know what I mean? And John Wick 4, they just boom, 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 boom. And yes, there's a lot of action, and action can speed up the pacing of a movie, but you also still get those character moments. That doesn't slow the movie down. Some of my negatives, and my negatives are so minor that they almost don't even mean anything. But one of them is just like in a lot, especially since we saw the third John Wick, a strain of credibility and believability. Believability. And what I mean by that is, yes, when a guy keeps getting shot 20 times, you go, shouldn't he be dead by now? Shouldn't he be, like a slice of cheese by now? Or when they fall from a tall building, hit a car, and then slam on the pavement, when they get back up and keep walking. I don't know about you, but that normally doesn't happen like that in real life. Normally when you fall from a building, you become a pancake. Or an egg. A scrambled egg. Scrambled everywhere. But in here, you fall from a building, you land on a car, then you fall on the ground, on the cement, brick, rock, pavement, and you just get back up and keep walking. Like nothing ever happened. Like you land on a pillow. No pillow. No. So there are moments like that I go, but since we saw it in John Wick 3, especially in the end of John Wick 3, where John Wick gets shot and then falls off a building and slams into the pavement and then gets back up and keeps walking. Remember that? The last shot of John Wick 3, which I had a problem with. But there is that moment, in certain moments you go, are they really still alive? Really? But then you gotta go, this is just supposed to be fun, action. Enjoy it for entertainment. Poor Lawrence Fishburne, we really don't get that much of him in this movie. Kind of a bummer. Even though the scenes that he had with Keanu Reeves are great. I'm gonna need a gun. And you see Lawrence Fishburne give him that smirk. I know, that's a Matrix reference. I know, I see what you're doing there. But I wanted more Lawrence Fishburne. I did want a little bit more world building in this movie. Each John Wick movie gave us new developments in the world of John Wick. Even to the John Wick Chapter 3, where we had that whole ballet sequence in the theater with Angelica Houston, which is now getting a spin-off called The Ballerina with Ana de Armas. You know what I mean? So even in John Wick 2, we got the whole blood oath thing. I mean, obviously John Wick 1 set up the entire world, the Continental, all of it, the assassins. But I did wish they maybe developed a little bit more world building in John Wick 4 for other spin-offs, like I said, this is a universe. So whether you have John Wick or not, like we're going to see with Ballerina, you can still explore other things, other areas. But other than that, this is a fantastic movie. I mean, for a fourth movie in a franchise, this is by far one of the best fourth movies. This is like the Mission Impossible where each one kept getting better and better once they hit number 3, then 4, then 5. And then 6. And that's John Wick. John Wick 1. John Wick Chapter 2. John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. Now John Wick 4, Chapter 4. John Wick 4, Chapter 4. They just keep getting better and better. So I hope that the Ballerina spin-off that we get next goes up, back down, up. So I would give this a 5 out of 5. This is an excellent John Wick movie. Easily one of the best in the franchise. And, yeah. Keanu, you are the Mama Yaga.